Aloha. Welcome to Voice Power Pleasure Embodying Love series. This is tip number 4. If you've seen tip number 1 and 3, then you have been working your way in sequence to this. If you need to go back and click play, review those, my invitation is for you to do that quickly or not quickly, sensually, and enjoy it. And then come back to this. For now, we're going to dive in. We're talking today about the temple of the mouth. With the practice of singing, and specifically in Tantra of Voice, which is the Voice Power Pleasure coaching program, we are concerned with not just how it sounds, not just how our delivery is, but the sensation, and even more the sensuality of our embodiment while singing. Really embodying this vessel as the instrument, as the intentional instrument of sound and vibration. Through singing, through vocalizing in many forms, and through speaking, through the power of your word. So in tip number 1, we covered pelvic floor breathing and singing with the pelvic floor muscles. And for those who have anatomically a womb, yoni space, also called a vulva, vagina, or pussy, we get to explore how to release and relax this area. Relaxing the muscles of the cervix, literally, while we open the mouth and throat. Because anatomically, naturally, organically, physiologically, this is what we're meant to do. We have the hourglass shape, which is like my logo for Voice Power Pleasure, where we open the throat, open the mouth, and open the yoni as well. Okay, why? Why is this important? Well, you can go back to the video, but I'll just say real quickly here. When we have an open channel in both directions, this really helps us to move our sacred, sovereign, sexual energy and utilize it for our own health, for our own visions, for our own goal making, and how we show up in life. It creates a vital flow of energy. As we release tension and relax in the pelvic floor, we can release tension and relax in the throat, the voice, and the mouth. This is physiologically proven through childbirthing. In childbirth, the woman will make a low sound, which scientifically is proven to open the cervix so baby crown can come through. This is validated. This is nervous system feedback. This is a regulatory loop that happens. Okay, so our bodies naturally want to create that portal of opening. So working again now with the temple of the mouth. This is a really interesting one, because we actually have to go in there and make subtle adjustments into what I call the temple of the mouth, or the architecture of the palate to the tongue. So we have a vocal diaphragm. It's basically the HYOID bone, which you may have never heard of. Don't worry about it too much. Just know that you can Google it afterward, but know that you can find it by swallowing and bringing your fingers right to the top of your larynx. It's very subtle. It's connected to the Adam's apple, if you might have that. But if you are an anatomically positioned person with a yoni and a womb, then you may not. So finding that, we're going to now soften and relax the root of the tongue down. And that vocal diaphragm / HYOID bone on the inhale is actually coming up. So our pelvic floor and our thoracic diaphragm come down, if you remember, when we inhale. And on the exhale, they gently come up and contract in. The vocal diaphragm is different. On the inhale, it moves up as the breath enters upward into the throat from the chest. And on the exhale, it moves down. This is so subtle. So take a few minutes, and if you need to pause this video, you can, just to focus on the inhale and exhale, the breath flowing up with ease through that nice, deep, full belly breath that you've been working on from that pelvic floor video, all the way up, expanding your ribs, coming upward to the throat, to the root of the tongue, and then exhaling down, letting the throat soften. Yes. So when your throat softens on the exhale, that means your throat can soften downward as you sing, right? Because singing is an exhale. We want our throat to soften downward. We want the root of the tongue, which is way back here, to soften down so that when we speak, sing, we have a nice, open, relaxed back of the palate. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the front palate. This is the roof of your temple or your cathedral. We're going to create an openness by yawning. We're going to yawn. You feel that round openness. Your palate's lifted and the tongue is down. The tongue is not lapping up. It might do that. It likes to get involved, but we are training the tongue to soften downward. You can just yawn, really. It doesn't have to sound pretty. Root down, breathe all the way into your pelvic floor. That beautiful womb space. Open up with a yawn. That's it. Practice yawning as you start singing in an O or an ah sound. Very simple. Start simple, start basic. We don't have to throw in a bunch of different vowel sounds for now. It's just the O and the ah. And then you can practice slowly closing your lips. Sounds kind of like an om for my yogis out there. How's that feel? I'm feeling really relaxed. See, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system when we sing, just like any pranayama or breath work. We activate the vagus nerve, which helps our autonomic system to just soften, turn on. Side note, how you feeling? Check in with your body. So the key here is really to start to learn to thread all of those gateways or diaphragms into one sound and one vibration. So as you practice, you'll start to learn to breathe into your pelvic floor womb space, into your ribs, thoracic diaphragm, where your power center is, upward into your vocal diaphragm, softening throat, and then open, round temple of the mouth. That's it. That's the journey. That's the gateways journey of the womb, solar plexus, to Vishuddha, throat chakra, upward into your sacred, empowered, lit up expression, choosing intentionally how you vibrate out into the world with your sonorous capacities, right? We are sonorous beings. We are here to utilize this, open this voice. And our sex center is helpful in this. And it is instrumental in this because we're here to reclaim our sexual freedom, sovereignty, release of shame, release of perversion, release of lineage wounding, all of it connected, right? We step out of silence, we step out of shame. I can't teach this voice stuff without working in the tantric capacities of healing that I know are possible, and that is what voice power pleasure is. Okay, so temple of the mouth. Now you know you have a temple, and it's right here, and you can open it and relax it. Open upward, relax downward. Smile, because that's going to help your palate to lift. My high school music coach always reminded us to smile, and I'll never forget that. I got to do a shout out to Mr. Stomps. Auburn High School, upstate New York. Okay, anyway, I want you to work on that. Practice that. Just practice yawning, opening up, humming, making the ah and o sound. Next week with tip number 5, we're going to play with this temple of the mouth with actual words and vowels and some mantra work. Okay, so it's going to make it more applicable for either your singing practice, for your mantra practice if you're a chanter, and for your speaking voice and how you relate to people. So we're going to really dive into that next week. So in the meantime, enjoy this. Check out all my videos, tips 1 through 4 for you from me here at Voice Power Pleasure, Voice Tantra School and Coaching Program. If you're loving this work, please do subscribe to my channel, like this video. It really helps this work, this play, this healing to get out there into the world. My name is Lele Hartaloom, and I am so honored to be here with you. Continue to be at peace and acceptance with who you are, with all that you're healing, with any of your traumas. Do your best to keep loving every part of you that you are. Keep breathing through it and keep singing through it, baby. Because we got this, and you're not alone. Okay? So follow me, subscribe, find me on Instagram. I am on Instagram as Lele Hartloom and Voice Power Pleasure. You can also find my music, La Falcon, on Spotify and Pandora and iTunes and YouTube and Patreon. And you can find me on Facebook. Voice Power Pleasure and La Falcon is on Facebook. All links are below. Thank you so much again. I'm sending you so much love from here on Big Island, my jungle home. Bless you from this temple of the one beloved song, Voice Power Pleasure.